fish heads? We are talking all about protein skimmers today. What do they do? Do I need one? This is your chance to engage with us and ask any questions you have about protein skimmers in regards to your tank, the tank you're going to set up, etc.
Yeah. So this means all about protein skimmers, and drop your questions about protein skimmers. So we're going to be taking questions only about protein skimmers today. Start conversation in the chat. You know, let's start conversation. Tell us about your experiences. We want a lot of engagement in there, and our topic is all about protein skimmers. So we're going to answer all aspects of that this evening.
Yes, and those who engage with us, this is where you guys got to listen closely here. Those who engage with us will be eligible to win a $100 gift card. So talk about your experiences, what questions you have, and stick around till the end, because that is how you're going to know who wins those gift cards.
Yes. Sorry.
All right. So again, we're talking all about protein skimmers today. You guys might notice we have a little bit of an updated set here.
We're adjusting as we go.
It's looking good. I like it a lot. And again, ask us your questions about protein skimmers, anything related to them.
Yeah, start dropping those in the chat now, because the guys are going to be grabbing those for us to answer as we kind of go along. So we're going to touch on a few other topics, kind of start talking about protein skimmers, have a conversation about that, really dive into that topic specifically today. It's a very, very important one. A lot of people, starting an aquarium, it comes up a lot as far as what do they do, why are they important, all of that. So we're going to kind of get through that, and then, answer questions of you guys might have of like why, what, questions, maybe difficulties you've had with them in the past, anything like that. Drop them into the chat, and we're going to go through that. But you're going to tell us about a few things beforehand.
Yeah. So guys, what's up at Waterbox is what I'm calling this segment, at least for now. You might want to know what Waterbox has had come up new over the recent months. And on Blue Friday, we announced a new, larger Eden X. So I wanted to call it Eden XL. That got vetoed. Still called Eden X. So we have a 4, 5, and a 6 foot on our MS2 cabinets. These are like the ultra large Eden X range. So definitely take a look at these. They're available for pre-order right now in the USA. So take a look at them. If you're looking to get into like a really big fish tank, maybe a cichlid or a discus tank or something like that, definitely a good way to go. We also have the new, also announced on Blue Friday, the Marine EX. So this is a really special line for us. It's the first range of Waterbox Aquariums that has external overflow. It's going to give you a lot more opportunities and for aquascaping, basically, in the tank. It removes that overflow space that's taking up with our traditional glass overflow, and it gives you just a lot more space, as well as a professional grade acrylic sump. So take a look at those. They're available for special order, not special order, for pre-order now as well. So I do want to reiterate before I continue, we're talking about protein skimmers. There's a few more of you joining us. We want your questions about protein skimmers, so drop them in the comments below, or just talk about protein skimmers in the comments as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you just have some comments, if you have any suggestions, things you've learned along the way. So, even though it's kind of like we're answering your questions and kind of having a conversation about it, we're happy to throw up great information that you have, up there as well. It's really just having a conversation about them, learning, answering questions, just having a nice conversation about this one topic today.
And I will say, like you said, I think protein skimmers are one of the most important pieces of equipment in an aquarium. I also love them. I've followed all the different brands over the last 20 years on like the newest improvements, just everything in regards to protein skimmers. I like it. And I love our skimmer, obviously. But back to what's up at Waterbox. Subscribe and save, you guys. So there's something that I don't think a lot of people realize that's available on waterboxaquariums.com when they're buying consumable products like filter socks or chemicals or salt. So if you're in the market and you use salt every month, you use alkalinity, you use calcium, you use magnesium. Something I want you guys to take a look at when you do go on there is take a look at our subscribe option, because that's going to save you on certain products up to 15% when you subscribe. So, I'm going through a bottle of 500 ml a calcium alk mag every month. You subscribe to it, you're going to save a bit of money there. That goes for salt too. So definitely take a look at that.
Nice, because it keeps you from running out, because you're going to need it. It's a constant buy. So That way you don't have to be like, oh, I'm out. Now I have to order, wait for it to
Yeah.
ship, And those are things that you need on a regular basis. Supplements, salt, so you don't want to run out of them. So saving money and knowing that it's going to be there when you need it is definitely a benefit.
Yes, absolutely. And as well, I want to hear from you guys. I say this a lot. A lot of Waterbox products are born from us hanging out with you guys on Waterbox Live. What would you like to see in the future from Waterbox? Not to overtake the protein skimmer topic, but post in the comments, like, what would you like to see? I want to see this every week.
We do pay attention.
Actually.
We really, really do.
Yeah, because it really helps us a lot. Like, we can see what you guys are really looking for just by you posting in the comments. I used to joke, if you say it enough times, we'll think it's a bunch of people saying it and we'll create it. But in all seriousness, post in the comments. What do you want to see?
I will say 100% eat an X that you wanted to be XL, LX,
Yeah,
or
that was
whatever.
100%.
That is
something.
100% people
Yeah.
in chats, in support, in all of that, saying when we released the regular Eat an X, we want larger, we want 100, we want 100 plus gallon. That was 100% for you guys, just constantly asking for those sizes for why we made that. So it is actually true when we say, give us your suggestions, keep bringing it up, because we do watch, we do listen, we do see this stuff happening.
Yes, absolutely.
I got a quick question. Could I follow up that question? I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to bring this up because it's coming up a lot, but it's coming up in different versions. So is the 20-gallon need a skimmer? Does the 25-gallon need a skimmer? Does the 50.3 need a skimmer? So
Yeah.
the real question is, at what size do you need to consider a skimmer?
Okay, and this we're gonna cover, but we'll go ahead and tackle that now. And we talk about this in some of our past. With a smaller aquarium, because water changes are technically easier, because if you have a 20-gallon aquarium and you need to do, say, a weekly water change to keep up with your nutrients, it's so easy to go grab 3 or 5 gallons from your local fish store that's already pre-mixed, come home, spend 20 minutes maybe doing a water change, and you're done. So with a smaller, say like Nano, or in this all-in-one range, because water changes are fast, they're easy, we consider, I would say, a protein skimmer not a necessity, but it is beneficial, because even though water changes are easy, proteins and organics, they build up faster in a small aquarium, and having a protein skimmer does help water quality. And water quality can change quickly in a smaller aquarium. So having a protein skimmer is absolutely a benefit in a smaller aquarium, but not a necessity like we see in larger aquariums. But if you have the choice and it's in your budget, because $100, $200 can be a deciding factor
Let's
for
just
some people.
bring in that skimmer and talk about it.
So we're going to talk about this one. This is the Seche protein skimmer, if you want to drop that. And there's 2 sizes. So this is what we have for our all-in-one range. And this fits into the back compartments, and it's going to work for our whole range of all-in-ones. And
What model is this, do you know?
this is a 300.
300. So this is the larger version.
Yeah, this is going to work for the larger all-in-ones. They have the 150, which is going to be for your cube and peninsula, smaller ones. So basically, the thing with protein skimmer is everything it removes is keeping from breaking down further into your water as nitrate and phosphate. And the reason you're doing water changes, and one of the main reasons you're doing water changes, is to remove nitrate and phosphate, or remove the things that break down into that to keep those levels down. So, in a small aquarium, technically, with a protein skimmer, you can have more livestock, or you can feed heavier. You can do more with it, because this now is removing so much more organics before they get to the point of being nitrate and phosphate. But yes, say I have a 20-gallon cube, and I'm going to do a weekly water change, 5 gallons, maybe I'm going to do 8 gallons. If you're going to do that every single week, you could probably still feed heavy. You could have a little bit extra fish in there, and not need a protein skimmer. So, like we said, necessity, no. Beneficial, absolutely.
Yeah. I vote yes.
Yeah, if you can, it is, because even you can do water changes and have this, and be, even that much better off with as far as your water quality.
just to reiterate, guys, we're talking about protein skimmers today. Put your questions below. Talk about your experiences with protein skimmers. Maybe you have some really good information to share with other viewers. Throw it in the comments. We're giving away two $100 gift cards today at the end of the stream. But I like the skimmer. So if you guys don't know, this is a new product for Seche. We work with them pretty closely. Really nice skimmer. They match with all of our all-in-ones. It's a really simple unit. I'll pull this off real quick so you guys can see. To clean the skimmer cup, real easy. You pull it off, you dump it out.
You don't have to turn it off or anything.
Yeah. And also the way that it connects to, let's see if I can do this without
it's power magnet. Don't smush your finger.
Okay, so
I have it just on there just so you see it.
The way it connects to your tank is not with a hanging kit. It's with a magnet on the back here.
It'll sit on your baffle set in there.
And it's all waterproof, so you don't got to worry about any of that. So it's really easy to use, plug and play. And as always, Seche products come with a 5-year standard warranty. So if you're looking at an all-in-one, a Cube 20, 25, 35.2, 50.3, 65.4,
yep.
check out the Seche Shark skimmers. They're really good skimmers.
Yeah,
so.
they run really quiet. So you got your air silencer, which is good because you can adjust.
This is
your
adjustable
air intake.
too, right?
Yeah. Air intake, and then you have your water level adjustment. So you have all the features of a larger protein skimmer for your all-in-ones to kind of adjust to your needs and your aquarium's needs, and still run quiet, because the last thing you want, and the nice thing about all-in-ones and sometimes why the people choose them, is because they're simple and they're also quiet. Everything's contained. So when this sits into the back of your chambers, you're not seeing too much. Right here is kind of covered. You're going to see a little bit of the cup, but it's also going to run very silent. It's going to be easy to clean and maintain, which is a lot of the functionality of an all-in-one and why people choose that. And especially when you get into those all-in-one 35, the 50, and the 60.4, 65.4. Protein skimmers do become much more beneficial once you get past that 20, 25 gallon range. So do consider, as you get into larger all-in-ones, that protein skimmers become more and more necessary with the larger water volume that you get to. You have more fish, water changes become larger, that kind of stuff, where you really benefit from the organics and the waste that a protein skimmer removes from the water.
Yep. Excellent. If you guys didn't know, this particular Seche skimmer was just released this May. I think they just started shipping a few months ago. So if you haven't heard of it, that's why.
Yeah, it is definitely newer.
We'll bring up, I want to encourage you guys to keep asking your questions. Keenan, do we have some good questions coming through?
Yeah, I have some questions.
Okay.
I also want to bring up that apparently a setting was set on the YouTube stream, so people are getting served ads, and it cuts into what you guys are saying.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, so I had an option here to pause ads instead of us specifying, which I never do specify, and that's probably why they got served in that.
Huh.
So I'm hoping this prevents it from happening again.
We apologize for any ads, guys.
Yeah. YouTube's trying to sneak some ads in.
We gotta make that money, man. What up?
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, we released our own line of skimmers, I think this March? Anyways, we got 4 different sizes. They've all been designed to match every one of our systems that have a sump. Take a look at them. They've been wildly popular. They also use a Seche skimmer pump in them with a 5-year warranty. So these things are very quiet, very efficient. Our owners have been really liking them a lot. So definitely check them out, waterboxaquariums.com. Is a bigger skimmer on a smaller tank okay?
This is a great topic, and something I want to cover. Anyway, so sizing a protein skimmer to your aquarium. Now, probably a lot of people say the bigger the protein skimmer, the better. I have a 20-gallon aquarium. I should get one rated for 60 gallons. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. So you can oversize an aquarium, a protein skimmer. And what happens is, you have this protein skimmer that is so oversized for your aquarium, you don't have the bioload to sustain the basically the bubble production. So what happens when the protein skimmer is the pump pulls air from your silencer and it mixes those air into superfine microbubbles. Those bubbles then take the proteins, the organic waste and all that stuff from the water column, and it then brings it into a foam column. That's what then comes into that collection cup. Now, you have this skimmer that's supposed to take amount of waste product from a 60-gallon aquarium. You only have the waste product of a 20-gallon. It's not enough organics to cling to those microbubbles to really build that foam column into the collection cup properly. So you don't actually get a functional protein skimmer. Now, when you rate your protein skimmer, there's gonna be, for most brands, what they rate as like a light, medium, and a high bioload, or at least a light and heavy bioload. And you do want to pay attention to that one, because so you're going to be like, okay, it's a soft coral tank, water quality is not as important, I'm not going to have a ton of fish, that's going to be your light bioload. If you are like, I'm going to have a lot of fish, or maybe you need very clean water for SBS or something like that, you're going to go with high bioload. And those gallon ratings are going to be very different. You want to pay attention to those and be specific to those, because that's going to actually be to your performance. But you don't want to look at those and be like, oh, that says up to 40 gallons. I'm going to go to the next size that says up to 80 gallons because that's going to be better. You're going to actually be more detrimental to yourself than you are beneficial to go way bigger. So do go by manufacturers' suggestions on bioload. And also be realistic. Most people are like, oh, I'm not going to have that many fish. It's going to be a light bioload. Almost nobody has a light bioload in their aquarium. Show me like one person that actually keeps a light bioload in their aquarium
It's a little hard
with
to do.
either feeding quantity or a number of fish, and pretty much no one's going to do it. So generally you're going to be medium or high bioload and rate your skimmer based upon that. But bigger, like overly sized, is definitely not better.
Thank you, Milton. Appreciate the question. I saw someone that said they didn't get served the ag because they have YouTube Premium. I suggest you guys get that YouTube Premium, by the way, if you watch enough of YouTube.
Are you supporting YouTube Premium right
I
now?
am. I have it. It's worth
You're
it.
gonna think we're running the ads on purpose.
Oh man.
We're not running
You
that
getting
ads on purpose.
kickback on YouTube Premium right now? No.
Maybe. Fish only saltwater really need a skimmer.
Oh God, you need it more than a reef aquarium needs it. Okay, anyone needs it, but fish only saltwater aquarium, usually it means you have usually bigger fish, they're dirty. You are going to have a lot of waste product. Even though those fish can generally handle dirtier water, your nutrient load is going to be high. Usually you've got those bigger fish, they're messier eaters. Now, if you are happening to somehow keep very small fish, but you're doing a fish only, it might be a little bit different. And you're doing it in a small aquarium, maybe a little bit different rules. But for the most part, if you're doing a fish only, you're doing it in like a 50-gallon or usually larger. We see it in generally much larger size. And once you get to that size, it's extremely beneficial and borderline unnecessary. And the larger you get and the larger fish you get, it becomes necessary. Because even though like fish themselves can handle higher like nitrate and phosphate, you're gonna then become algae issues. You know, your aquarium's gonna become just kind of very murky. It's gonna be a lot of algae problems because your nutrient levels and stuff. So the amount of waste and just kind of overall organics that a protein's gonna remove from a fish only is gonna be considerably high.
Yep. Reagents would be nice from Waterbox. Testing reagents, I guess.
Testing reagents. We don't have dust kits. We don't have reagents.
Maybe one day. Say it enough times. Hey, from England here. I have a Marine X110, and when I do a water change, the emergency overflow goes haywire for a long time. I have to adjust the valve a lot during this time. Any idea why?
I mean, it shouldn't unless your pump starts back up at a different rate. I would check and make sure that your setting when you shut it off and then when you restart it is at the same like speed and percentage of when it stopped, because if your flow rate restarts, you're draining everything and your valves are at the same percentage. So definitely look into that.
Thank you, sir. Can you plumb a skimmer outside of the tank or sump? Like if I was using the only, if I was using the only section of the sump for a macro grower, like an external skimmer?
Yeah, you just have to make sure that it is a brand that is meant for external.
Yeah.
So I would say 75% of skimmers out there are not external skimmers. So you do need to make sure that it is meant to run that way, but you can 100%, if it's meant to be, run it as an external. However,
I'm laughing at the guys in the booth because when they laugh, I know something good's going on.
okay. Do just note, and from experience of just seeing other people with their aquariums and working at fish stores, if you run an external protein skimmer, so okay, if you've ever had an aquarium and say your skimmer inside your sump, and you came home one day and your skimmer just suddenly out of nowhere, because maybe you had something different or for whatever, skimmers sometimes go haywire, and you look in your sump and you're like, why? My skimmer is overflowing like crazy or doing something weird. Imagine your skimmer's doing that outside of the sump. Set up some safety precautions.
Oh, thanks.
Have a shut off if your skimmer cup is overflowing, or put it into some kind of basin that has like a water leak alert or some kind of shut off, because if your skimmer decides to go nuts and overflow your skimmer cup and it's just sitting outside of your sump, it could mean a major disaster.
Not to mention all the water it's pulling from the tank.
Yeah, that would just be a complete disaster for a return pump, for your cabinet, for your flooring, for everything. Yeah. Be very careful.
Yeah, so when you look at the Waterbox series of aquariums that have sumps, we've designed the sumps very large. There's not many, if any, internal skimmers that will not fit in our sumps for the appropriate size tank, especially ours.
Oh man, I can't imagine a single brand skimmer that would not fit in our sumps.
Yeah, and what you were talking about is that's one of the biggest reasons, is because there are external skimmers, but you got to have a lot of safety precautions for that, because there's just so many. I've done it in the past and I've screwed up with that pretty bad. There's just a lot of factors.
And it's legit. I mean, it doesn't really matter the brand or type of skimmer, but some things you can put into. I'm trying a new food, and for some reason, because skimmers are really, certain oils and just different things can just make them go nuts. And you may not even think about it. You do something, I'm doing something different in my tank. Oh, new product, new food. And you do it and you walk away and you don't think about it. And suddenly an hour later, and you don't even know it. You're not home, you're not looking at your aquarium, and it's overflowing or doing something crazy, and you just flooded your house.
Steve's asking, are clownfish actually funny?
Yeah, when they bite your hand, it's real funny.
I also saw that Sean H. is reporting that his 6-line murdered his tang. You should call the police, bro.
How small was that tang? And how big was that 6-line? I have a hard time. I don't know about that.
Either way, you got to call the cops.
Yeah, call the cops.
If it was a murder. Can you cycle a protein skimmer on and off as needed, or is it better to leave it on 24/7?
You can. And I think a lot of it depends on how long that on and off cycle is. And I know that people that are kind of playing with that borderline of low nutrient system, but not too low, do sometimes turn it on and off on a schedule. One thing you don't want to do is like turn it off for a week and then turn it back on. Because what you do is a new protein skimmer goes through a break-in cycle. And what the break-in cycle is basically is your skimmer and your pump and the body and the acrylics and the plastic build up this film and this bioness that allow it to kind of run at a stable foam column. So when it's brand new, your foam column doesn't really build up properly or might go crazy, and then it kind of stabilizes over time because it's building up this layer inside of all the components.
Some of that has to do with like the oils on the acrylic from manufacturing and stuff, right?
Yeah, it does. And then like just like building up this internal film on all the components that is almost like a structure for those bubbles to kind of build upon and move up. I mean, these little tiny micro bubbles with organics are trying to like build this foam column that is pressurized to pull all up into your cup. So, you know, it takes time to kind of build it. So then you like shut it down for days and days at a time. All of that goes away, and then you turn it back on. It's not going to be stable. So you have to like do it in a fashion that you don't lose that every single time. Now, if you're like overnight for a couple hours or here and there, probably not a big deal. But I would really kind of prefer the skimmer run regularly and figure out your feeding to fish ratio or something to where you don't need to really be that complicated about it.
Mm-hmm. You're so kind when you say that. Like, I would just be like, just run it 24/7, forget about
You
it.
have to explain why. You have to give reasoning.
That's why I say you're so kind.
why.
I would give them the short answer.
But they wouldn't learn anything.
Is a skimmer better than a refugium?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could only do one, protein skimmer times a million.
Yeah.
Do both, even better.
Get you a Waterbox skimmer, Tom. My fish won't stop drinking their bath water. Oh, man.
I don't think they have a choice. They live in it. They can't get out of it.
The bath?
Yeah, they live in their bath water.
Oh, I guess that's true. I never thought of it that way.
You're making them drink their bath water.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about, protein skimmers in nature?
Is the ocean water filled with fish poop? Yes, absolutely.
What is protein skimming in nature? Want to ruin
The
it for
waves.
ruin it for all the beach people?
all that foam on the beach you're playing in.
You want to go to the beach and you got all that little brown foamy stuff when it's real rough?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is natural skimmate.
Yep.
That is fish poop coming
That's
up
what-
on shore.
Basically,
that your
what
kids
these are
probably,
replicating.
Like, playing in. And you
Yeah,
guys,
all that,
like,
all those
waiting.
bubbles that form from the water crashing pick up all the organics.
Yep, sitting on the beach.
On the beach.
Just while you walk in it.
Yep.
Congratulations. Sorry to ruin that for you.
Is Santa Claus real?
Did I put it up?
No, I just read it.
I had it here, man. I was like, should I put it up or
It's a
not?
family show. Don't read that stuff. No. Moving on.
I was going to say the right answer.
He told you right quick.
Done.
There you go.
Man. Which is worse, high phosphate or high nitrates or autocorrect when you don't need? You guys got the jokes tonight.
There are tons of jokes. Here's a good one. Do you need to answer that? Is that a joke?
Which is worse, high phosphates or nitrates or autocorrect? I would say autocorrect when you don't need it, personally. I can't stand the autocorrect on my phone. It corrects things that don't need to be corrected.
Honestly, I didn't know that was a joke. That's funny. I like this one.
Can you hook up an external skimmer to your toilet bowl? Oh, man. Those are some big organics.
Actually, a protein skimmer doesn't work in fresh water. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, oh, that's true. You cannot, Steve.
Education right there. See, I bring the
Yeah.
education. You bring jokes. That's what we're here for.
I'm going to try to start dropping some education, though, so it doesn't
Yeah?
seem like I don't know anything.
All right.
I got some stuff in there.
Okay.
It's just that yours exceeds mine by such a dramatic level that I can't really.
All right. Just keep on going here.
Again, you guys, we're giving away.
That's it for questions.
You get on questions. Again, check out the Waterbox line of protein skimmers, the C-Chain line of protein skimmers for the all-in-ones. If you guys can't tell, we're doing a little bit of a different format on the show. We're giving you even more chance to engage every single week. So definitely tune in. If you haven't already, if you guys like the stream, smash the like button. I haven't said that yet.
Oh, yeah.
Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell because we do this every single week, and we're going to give you guys a chance to engage with us throughout the stream every single week now. So definitely take advantage of that, and we're also going to give stuff away.
Which I think we're doing right now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We're ready to give away some
Oh
gift cards.
yeah. So if you're
Right?
watching this after this is live, I suggest that you tune in Wednesdays at 6 p.m. so that you do get a chance to win these gift cards.
That's true. Then you're going to
Yeah.
win some money. All right. Ready for some winners?
Go.
All right. Ready?
Oh yeah. Smokin' Reefer and Adam Holdorf. Congratulations, guys. To redeem those, email winners@waterboxaquariums.com. They will get you hooked up. Tell them whether you're in U.S. or Canada. If you're not in the U.S. or Canada, just tune in anyways.
You can't win money, but you can still learn a lot of stuff. I like this new format. I
Yeah.
think it's nice to be on one topic.
Yeah. We are sitting now. These chairs are absolutely horrible. By
getting new
next
ones.
we'll have some new ones.
Yes,
They won't hurt
they're
us.
more comfortable.
We appreciate you guys, as always, tuning in.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. For more information on Waterbox Aquariums, visit waterboxaquariums.com.
We're live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to tune in, and we'll see you next week.